What's in the crib, mom? Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Alright, question number 1. What is your relation to me?
I guess friend since like 6th grade era. Co-rider of bus, whatever number it was. I don't know. I'm too good for the bus now.
So Grant, how did you meet me?
Well, am I saying you or like John? I just remember meeting you in like 6th grade era.
I remember like Seth. I rode the bus with Seth and he was like, oh yeah, you should come sit with me in the morning, and there's this guy named Grant. I was like, hey, it's Grant. First impressions of me, Grant?
I don't know. You're a person. Like, you're not a person when you're in 6th or 7th grade. You're just like a little I don't know what I thought of you, because I wasn't a person either, so whatever.
And did this "you're not a person" impression turn out to be correct? Incorrect?
Yes.
Favorite and least favorite quality of me?
I'd say you're pretty creative, John. You're pretty creative in like the ways you generate humor and the ways you... Should I be speaking into the camera? I'd say you're pretty unproductive sometimes. Those two sort of go in tandem. I remember that one time in freshman year when we all just like wore suits to the final day of first semester, and we like came here and played Smash, walked down to Wendy's and act like we were so cool. And I mean, we kind of were. We were kind of that.
We were kind of that.
I'm not gonna lie about that.
Who's that lady? Sexy lady.
Number 1, what is your relation to me?
I have known you now for almost 4 years. I was your freshman and sophomore science teacher, and you visit me regularly, and I enjoy that.
So, how did you meet me then?
When you were a freshman, you walked into my classroom for gifted physical science, and that was our introduction.
And what were your first impressions of me?
Ooh, that was a while ago. I believe my first impressions of you were that you were cheerful, but seemed a little disinterested.
Any of those turn out to be correct or incorrect?
I would say that with time you have engaged more academically, but even your second year you remained somewhat disengaged.
I would argue I've been disengaged the whole time, but what is your favorite and least favorite quality of my general existence?
You have a great attitude. That is definitely my favorite thing about you. And the second part of the question, how is it phrased? My least favorite quality of yours, I think that you have gifts that you do not use to the fullest. As I remember it, one of the things that you would do when you became disengaged was to fall asleep in my room. Now this was extremely evident because there were only 7 students in the class. So what I specifically remember doing, which I enjoyed very much, is after you'd fallen asleep a few times, I got the idea that I was going to wake you up. But instead of waking you up the traditional way, I walked up to you and squirted my water bottle on the back of your neck and pretend I had sneezed on you. And you woke up and you seemed kind of grossed out, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And it did not do anything to stop you from falling asleep in the future.
I'm mad, straight to the bank with this.
I am John's friend. Yeah.
How'd you meet John?
Well, I heard legends of your existence sometime during middle school at Defuncta, I think. And then you just kind of appeared in high school and we became
First impressions.
First impressions, John, I mean... First impressions of John. Very John-like.
Favorite and least favorite quality of myself?
Favorite quality of John? Go-to attitude and killer enthusiasm. Least favorite quality? Dash attacks, probably.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and...
Stick break? Zed, you're interrupting something.
It's okay. Unless you keep quiet, you're fine.
I'm there.
Alright, a certain story of John.
Let's see, this one time we played Axis and Allies, and John won. Then a later time we played Diplomacy, John won.
Gay!
What is your relation to me?
I am your brother.
Alright. And how'd you meet me?
Well, you see, it happened when my mom birthed me.
Yeah.
I mean, shocking, right?
Your first impressions of me?
Who is this kid?
That's not impressions! Alright, favorite and least favorite quality.
Least favorite, at night when you scream all the
I
time.
don't scream that much.
Favorite? I don't know. You're a good brother. There we go.
Alright, kid, what's a story?
A story. Well, you see, this one time I went to Destin, Florida, and my brother doesn't remember this, but it happened. Wait, is this actually the one you're using?
Yeah. Why would I...
Oh shit. So, my story. We were in Destin, Florida. This is when we were young. And we were swimming with our oldest brother and our stepbrother. Thank you, stepbrother. And we were swimming. We were having a good time. I guess something happened because when we were getting out, John decided to push me back into the pool when I had no floaties on and kept my head underwater. Yeah, I smiled because of his face, but yeah, he almost killed me.
John, what's your favorite kind of underwear?
Boxers.
Oh, well,
They just hang nicely.
I can respect that.
Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Oh, wait.
Preston, provide background music. Provide background music.
Zach, what would you say your relation to me is?
Best friends, for sure.
Just two guys and we're having a good time, having a good time, having a good time.
Alright, Zach, how'd you meet me?
Well, it was 8th grade. You came to me, and he said, "Gio boy, Miss Vogel's a really cool teacher." And I was like, "Yeah, she's my mom."
First impressions of me. Dashing.
Handsome. Muscular.
John.
And a good friend.
And did these turn out to be correct or incorrect?
These are all correct. All the time.
What's your favorite and least favorite quality of John?
My favorite quality is that there is no bad quality. You're just not good, John.
Zach, you think of any stories, Zach?
Well, countless times where we play Super Smash Brothers Melee together. You're quite the opponent.
I mean, I knew of John because we were in gifted together,
Yeah, we had a couple classes.
but I didn't really get to know him until you invited me to dinner. Yeah, let's now!
Don't worry, I can edit things out, so if you screw up, give a beat and then go on. Don't worry, you will. What is your relation to me?
I am John Beckham's mother.
Scary. How'd you meet me? That's kind of unneeded.
Well, one day I was getting dressed and I zipped up my skirt and it wouldn't zip up all the way. And I stood for a minute and then I said, "Oh, I know what this is. I'm pregnant." This is when I met you face to face the first time. This was my ultrasound. I just went, what were your first impressions? God, poor kid. That was my first impression. Because you came 3 weeks early, and those last 3 weeks you would have gained like 1.5 pounds at least. And so when you were born, you were just a bag of skin. It was very, I thought, I have seen John as an old man. Look at him, he's 98 years old.
I was asking more for content of character.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. John, you were just like this easy, peaceful child. I mean, just, I could have birthed you and like just, put you in a basket in the bulrushes and sent you off and you would have been fine. You'd have come back to me one day with a college degree.
Did these impressions turn out to be correct? Incorrect?
Yeah, because when you were little, you were like that. You were a hard worker when you were little, and you still are. I mean, it's all It's all right there from the beginning. Nothing much changes. My favorite quality of you is John is, I don't have, I mean, I think you're loyal. You're very, very loyal. You are, you're hardworking. You don't mind doing stuff for other people. And I love your sense of humor. Having said that, the least favorite is sometimes your sense of humor.
What has had the largest impact on me?
Boy Scouts. I think you were surrounded by a lot of good men who were just like guys with you, you know, instead of just, you know, the mom and the sisters and stuff. And I think it was great. And it made you have to work collaboratively with people. And that wasn't easy, you know, in the beginning. And you've really come a long way with it. That's a hard skill to develop for some people.
What's a story?
What is a story?
A story. Give me a story.
About you, or just, or are you asking what is a story, like definition of the word story? Well, when you went to preschool, you really didn't like to go. You really liked home. Very much a homebody. So I would take you and Kyle and drop you off in the mornings, and then I would go to work. And Kyle was like, okay, see you later. He was fine. But you would just like cry and cry and cry and cry. And you would stand at this window that they had, and you would look out into the parking lot, and you'd stand there and watch me walk away, and you'd screaming, crying. So one afternoon, I went to pick you up, and this window was completely boarded over with plywood. And I thought, I know what happened. Sure enough, you banged on the window for me until you broke the window.
Resets.
Is that like this like men in the Fight Club? Oh, that's good.
That's not what they usually say. It's usually get your out of there.